13. This is live coverage of the Ashley Home Store Children's Gasparilla, presented by CHICK-FIL-A, Tampa Bay.
And a good Saturday afternoon to you, Tampa Bay. Look at Bayshore Boulevard. The floats, the beads, the smiles, the fun. A Gasparilla season, I did not mean to do this in rhyme, has begun. Good afternoon and welcome to DeSoto and Bayshore. I'm Mark Wilson.
And I'm Kelly Ring, and thank you so much for being with us today. What a beautiful day. A little windy, but magnificent. The sun is shining, and it is warm and breezy, and hundreds, thousands of people have come down to watch this magnificent parade. The Children's Gasparilla Parade has been in the Tampa Bay area since 1947. To the delight of so many young pirates.
That's a little bit of history here in Tampa Bay. You know, we take these parades very seriously. We know, of course, there's the big adult one next week, but today is all about the kids. This is the family-friendly fun that so many enjoy coming out and spending the day with us this afternoon as the crowds have. Take a look along Bayshore right now. The crowds are here. We have tens of thousands already here celebrating with us this afternoon. The junior parade has just begun a little bit, about 20 minutes or so ago, but it's really amazing. We're so excited to be able to bring this parade to you here over the next 2 hours. So get comfortable, put your feet up, because you're going to have a great time as we bring you this parade here this afternoon. We have Fox 13 coverage. We have Fox 13 crews all up and down from start to finish here in the parade. And we're going to start with our own Fox 13's Chip Brewster.
Yes, how's it looking? This is your first year to be roaming the side of the parade. Chip.
Yes, last year I was lucky enough, I really consider it lucky, to be in our Unit 13, nice and air-conditioned, good introduction to the parade. I was protected from the many beads that get thrown back at the parade participants. But I am more excited to be actually out walking the route, and trust me, when I say walking the route, I've got J-Mac with me, he's got his cart, we're going to be all over the place, just kind of checking out some of the local flavor, some of the flair, some of the folks who have dressed up and are excited to be out here to participate in this wonderful event. As you guys said, man, the weather is perfect, spirits are high, everyone is excited to be here, and I'm going to do my best too to highlight some of the cooler, more unique floats and people that are in this, including our mayor, our hero, and then our, I can't think of the word, the Grand Marshal. Yes, got it. Oh, first time. Don't mess it up, Chip. Don't mess it up. Anyways, it's a great day. I'm excited to help bring it to you guys there at home, and those that are here, if you're streaming on your phone, look for us because we got a little something special for you. Mark and Kelly.
We are very excited to see that.
All right, very good. Well, if you watched us in parades past, of course, you know what Chip is doing today. Fox 13's Charlie Belcher's been doing that for years. Well, guess what? Charlie's floating through life today. Charlie's got the posh assignment on top of the Fox 13 float.
Yes, surrounded by all our colleagues. Charlie, how's it feel to be on that float?
It is amazing. I'm happy to be the float reporter. Chip Brewster's going to be just fine there. I will warn Chippy, maybe he should have worn a hard hat, because people love to throw beads at the guy with the microphone on the street. But I am on the Fox 13 float this year, and what's so great is that the Children's Parade is all about family. And it's nice that the Fox 13 family can hang out together, like Dave Osterberg, Sir Bonnie Banerjee, Linda Hurtado, there's Josh Catskill, Kim Quizon, there's Brianna over there. But it's also a chance for the Fox 13 families to hang out with their families. Chris Cato, you brought children to the children.
Father, yes. Yeah,
That's what you do.
My favorite time of the year. You know, this is the third year that I've got to bring my son. This is Walker.
What are you doing?
Good.
Now, do you like being on the float for the Children's Parade?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, most kids don't get to do this. This is kind of exciting to be up here, because when you go down this parade route and everybody's screaming for beads, kind of makes you feel like a rock star a little bit, doesn't it?
It's really cool.
Yeah, it is really
And
cool.
look at all these beads we got to throw out. We got to toss a lot of beads.
Very nice. Sports Director Scott Smith here. This one belongs to you?
This one's mine. This is little Carson, 6 years old. Outdone by the Catos again. I mean, they go the full pirate outfit. We're still kind of picking up on it, you know, but we're going simple. I think his approach this year, as it always is to kind of bring in those low, like real heaters.
All right.
Front row. So, yeah, look out. I'm more of a long toss guy, but the kids in the front row don't stand a chance.
Keep them out of the bay. It's all we request. Keep them out of the bay. Give me your best arg. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, we got more Fox 13 folks here with their kids. You'll meet them. Stick around. We got this parade covered end to end. We're not even moving yet, and we're having a ball. Mark and Kelly, back to you.
All right, thank you, Charlie. You're not going to be moving for about 30, 45 minutes because there are 133 floats, cars in the parade. So it's always such a big parade.
Didn't know we were going to have twins today, did you?
I know, they're so cute. Oh, my goodness.
I know, and we've got Chris Cato and Scott Smith who are twinning as well. So it's great to see. We're going to have a lot of fun here this afternoon. So behind the float, those of you who've seen our Unit 13, which is our new suburban off-road, all-terrain, all news, any kind of news, we can cover it in this kind of vehicle. We've got it here with you today. It's right behind the Fox 13 float, and our own Laura Moody's right there in the front seat.
Hey there, Laura.
Hi. Hey, this is like the Fox 13 monster truck. I have never been in this thing before, but it is so cool, and there are all kinds of cool toys in here. We have camera shots here, so this will be camera 1. This will be camera 2 here. This is the float. This is where all of our crew is going to be. This is camera 3. That's a wider shot, and this is a mast cam we have on top to take the shots of the water. And Kelly, you talked about 130 floats or something. We are 103, so we're pretty far back in the route. So we'll be sitting here for a bit, but we're having a good time. A lot of us haven't seen each other in a long time, so it's good to hang out. And so we'll be with you all afternoon. We're looking forward to it. It's a huge crowd today.
That's fantastic. Have fun, Laura. You are protected, so that's a beautiful thing. Now the parade has begun. It started a few minutes ago, and we're already to some beautiful floats.
It is upon us. Crew of Allegria just passed us here this afternoon, and coming up next, take a look. What's really neat about this, of course, this is the family-friendly fun. We do have the mayor.
Yeah, I think Chip does. Chip.
Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely. No, so this is great because as the mayor, you can ride, or you can walk, you can shake hands, or you can throw beads. And we've got Mayor Jane Castor who's doing a little bit of everything. Now, of course, Jane Castor used to be the chief of police, which means that she has operated in this venue multiple times, but in a very different capacity than she's doing today. So let's just go chat with her and see what it's like being on the other side, if you will. Oh, man, she is popular, and it's not the beads, I think. I think a lot of people just want to meet the mayor, including the live Fox 13 crew. Mayor Castor!
Yeah.
Hey, Fox 13 here. So what's it like walking the parade as the mayor as opposed to being in charge of its safety?
It's a lot more fun, that's for sure.
A lot less stress, I imagine,
too. A lot less stress, yes, for sure. What a great event. Great day. Everybody's having fun. It's just wonderful.
You know, it's great because Gasparilla comprises of multiple parades, multiple events, but if I may express some bias, this one's my favorite.
Me too. This is what I grew up with, and I'm a lot older than you are.
I didn't say that.
It is. It's wonderful. A wonderful event for the kids. Not only to be a part of the parade and the cruise, but look at all the families out here.
Yes.
It's just
and thank you so much for programming the weather this year. We do
what we can here in the city, and we order beautiful weather, and that's what we got.
Perfect. Well, have a great time, Mayor. We appreciate you chatting with us. So she's going to run off, not into the camera, grab some more beads, have some fun, and that's really what this whole thing is about. Smiles, right, Mark and Kelly? All about the smiles.
Oh, no doubt about that. When he came up at the start of the race, it feels like a race, but it's a parade. We were able to visit with the mayor beforehand, and there were already signs from Mayor Castor all along the parade route as well. So obviously very well liked, and I know a lot of people are happy to see her out here.
Yeah, she's a great mayor. We saw Sheriff Cronister going by a few minutes ago. That has how the parade is always kicked off, with the fire department, the police department, the sheriff's department, and so it's always a lot of fun. And this maybe one of the biggest crowds I've seen in a long time, because the weather is so good. Now you're looking at the crew of Castaways, and in 2020 is their 13th year as a crew. Their float is a ship run aground, and that is just a great float.
Yeah, now we have iHeartRadio Mix 100.7 coming up next. I told you we're moving quick today. Their placeholder script here is. Look at all the kids on the float that they have, too. Everybody loves iHeartRadio, of course, and all that they can do for us. And look at them. They're moving.
Very colorful float. Throwing us some beads, which I need some more beads for my my attire.
Well, they're
having
coming.
Fun. It's crowded.
They're coming for sure.
And next we have the CHICK-FIL-A float. Oh, look at that. And they're one of the major sponsors here. Locally, the restaurant chain has made a huge impact through partnerships with the Lightning and the Children's Cancer Center. The CFA Fall Stampedes 5K is held every year to support local families of children battling cancer.
But sadly, they did not take up my recommendation to throw waffle fries. You talk about a hit.
That would be a big hit. That would be a stampede.
They're throwing beads and coins and all kinds of fun. So great to see them out here as well. I think that's the crew of Queen Anne's Revenge coming up next by them. Yeah. They've got 3 floats actually in the parade here today. This first one is the Blue Waters of the Caribbean. And this float depicts the exotic sea life and the coral reefs there. And again, you get the family-friendly theme here. You see all the kids on these floats too, which is a lot of fun. So this really means a lot to them. Rarely do they get a chance to be the ones throwing the beads. So this crew's family members love getting their kids. If you can't find room on the floats, then they're down below walking along as well and handing out. But this is, of course, protected by Queen Anne's Fortress, and they have cannons as well. And they are here for a good time today and rolling right along.
Yes, they are. The float right behind them, this is also Queen Anne's Revenge, the crew of Queen Anne's Revenge. It takes us to an island jungle where we come face to face with Mr. Big and his cannons. The fierce but friendly gorilla stands tall in the front of the float. It was built using sugar cane. As you may know, sugar cane was an important crop in the Caribbean. It's used to process large amounts of rum. The sugar is processed in the back of the sugar mill. And so they're having a good time out there today. A lot of kids with their families, the crew members, and just all taking part. Very colorful.
Yeah, we'll talk about Caribbean rum next weekend.
Oh, I think, yes. Too much of that, I'm afraid.
This
so many
third
people.
float, though, also from Queen Anne's Revenge. This is the paradise that they say that you'll find once you enter the island. Tropical birds and lush, you see. These are the Annies who are marching along the floats with them, named after the French Caribbean woman who served Blackbeard libations. And they're all dressed in French Caribbean style with a fleur-de-lis patch in the back of each jacket. And again, look at the detail as each of these floats go by, because they spend literally all year long putting these gorgeous floats together. And we can only hope at home for you that the colors really come through on your televisions, because they really are a thing to behold, even from the trees to everything that they've done, the sound systems that they all have. And we applaud all of their work for putting it all together very well.
Yes, that's great. Okay, now we're going to take a look at, we're now in like number 16 for the lineup, and this is one of my favorite parts of the parade. These kiddos work so hard. They have to march so far. This is the Tampa Gymnastics and Dance SHOWSTARS, and this national award-winning group, it performs ranges in age from 7 to 17, the performers are, and the dance team has appeared nationally. They've been to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Walt Disney World. They've been on Carnival Cruise Lines. Also very proud representatives of the City of Tampa, Parks and Rec Department, the Children's Athletic Network, and the Dance Opportunities Incorporated. So they are really impressive. They dance the whole way. How many, is that a mile?
Oh, it's more than a mile. I think we figured it was almost 3 miles.
Was it 3 miles? The entire route. That's a lot.
It's pretty impressive.
Yes, it is. They're fantastic. All right, take a look at the dancers. They're performing for us. Just great, doing a great job, and we will be right back after this with more of the Children's Gasparilla Parade 2020. Stand by. Welcome back, everybody, to our coverage of the Children's Gasparilla Parade. What a beautiful day. The sun is out, a few clouds pushing through, but not too many. And it's a little windy, but I think that makes it a lot more comfortable for the thousands of people who are out here to enjoy the parade and participate in the parade. It's all about the kids today.
It is. The smiles go on for miles. We got some adults out here, of course, but this is all about all the kids, all the junior pirates. They're on the floats, they're in the stands, they're all along Bayshore having a good old time. And it's been a lot of fun already. And we've got the crew of Ann Jeffrey that's coming into view right now, and they're cranking their music as well. The legendary pirate Jose Gaspar seized her ship. That's their story, and then tried to steal her. Alas, Anne's heart belonged to another, one of Gaspar's crew members. And according to legend, Gaspar spared the couple. They lived happily ever after. He even gave them the ship, which is the Florida Blanca, and that is the float of the crew of Queen Anne Jeffrey. That's what they used to sail back to England and marry, by the way. The crew of Ann Jeffrey wants to make sure that others have that happy ending.
Yes, they do. I think this may be the Tampa Bay Bucks.
It looks like it.
I think it is. It's perfect for Gasparilla because it's all about pirates. I don't see Coach Arians on the float, but oh, we're one away. That's right. We still.
It is a pirate ship, so it's easily be confused.
Yes, I guess that's true. I got excited, got ahead of myself. They've got good music.
There, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This year's mascot is Captain Fear, of course, and he's mascot every year, not just this year. He's somewhere. He's probably on the float behind him in all likelihood, just out of our view. But they even have a marching band here with them today. Getting everybody going. We're ready for Bucs football already. I know it's only been about a month since the season ended. But this is Florida, after all. And the Bucs not being in the playoffs, what, 13 years in a row? I know it's left a taste in a lot of people's mouths. We want more. And I know the team is trending in the right direction, and that's what's exciting.
I think we are hopeful for the first time in a long time. Very excited about the direction the team is taking. So that's why we're ready for it again. As you can see in the crowd, the kids are already starting to get loaded up with beads. By the time they leave here, they're going to have so many beads, they won't hardly be able to walk.
And here we go. You talk about a pirate ship. This is Captain Fear's pirate ship. This is a replica of the pirate ship at Raymond James Stadium, the famous 103-foot-long pirate ship. We got some cheerleaders, we got some staff members, some family members, all from your Tampa Bay Buccaneers here with us, having a great time at the Gasparilla Children's Parade.
Oh, I see the general manager, Jason Light, right there. So he's enjoying it with his kids. Chip, I understand you may have some people out there to chat with. How's it going?
Oh, more than chat with, I'm going to turn a bunch of people into pirates. That's what I'm going to do. So beads get thrown out all the time, right? Well, this year Fox 13 decided to change it up. Do some bandanas. There's a lot of things you can do with this, but all right, everybody's got some bandana. I'm going to show them here, and then you guys at home, how to make yourself a pirate out of it. So first, we got to fold it in half. Make sure that the bright white is on the outside. You see a nice Fox 13 pop up, right? So after you fold it in half, flip it, and put that Fox 13 right on your forehead. Fox 13 goes right on the forehead. There you go. There you go. Oh, you folded it. Fold this way. Fold that half. Fold that half. All you guys folded the wrong halves. There, we got a couple that are catching up. All right, and then you tie it in the back. So you have the Fox 13. Yeah, that looks good. Looking real pirate-like. Then the finishing touch is you take all this excess up here and tuck it in. Tuck it into the strap. Tuck it in on either side. And now we're looking like some Fox 13 pirates for the Gasparilla Children's Parade. Look at all these good-looking folks, guys. Oh, yeah. Sir, you did not do very well, but you still look good, and that's what's important. It's okay. He looks good. That's the bottom line. And meanwhile, the parade continues. Next to us, Mark and Kelly. I don't want you to miss this next dance group coming up, so please tell us who they are.
Oh, I know. They are fantastic, too. Brucey Clay's Dance Studio. They have been in business for 3 decades, Chip. Students can learn almost any dance discipline. Many little ballerinas have started their dreams at Brucey Clay's, and they have a big crowd today, and they're enjoying the parade for sure. They're not getting the beads, but they are all smiles today for sure. Good job, ladies.
They are doing so well, and it's a little, here they come.
They have been in the parade for a long time, which is so good to see. Love that. I think next we have the Crew of Venus. They're the second oldest Gasparilla crew, and its first co-ed crew, by the way. It was founded in 1965, and it claims to have started the tradition of bead throwing in Gasparilla parades. They have 2 floats today in the children's Gasparilla. The first is what they call the subjects or guard float. And you know, because they started the tradition, they have tons and tons of beads to pass out. all away from the bay. That's one thing a lot of people have talked about this year, making sure the beads do not end up in the water.
Everybody's throwing grass side, of course, and there aren't really any boats out, just a few security boats. So all the attention is focused from Bayshore to the mainland, of course.
Right.
But look at it, looks like they have a bank of beads on that wall behind them in there.
It does. It does. Think about the investment these crews make in their beads for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
1965, one of the oldest around, of course, and they all really do a tremendous amount from year to year, not just in the weeks leading up to the parade, of course, to have fun, but all the giving back that they do all throughout the year, which is really nice as well, because this is so much a community effort, not just today. Today is just celebrating all the work that they do year-round. But
right. They do so much community service, and they're created for their community service efforts. All the crews are, and like you said, it's just fun for them to be able to go out and participate in the parades, both the children's parade and next week in the adult parade and the night parade.
Sure, I think that's their Royal Float, which is their second float for the Crew of Venus. And they say their heritage is really a blend of original Gasparilla with some Latin influences, maybe some New Orleans Mardi Gras as well. I see the purple and gold for sure, and maybe some other local traditions. They actually crowned their 54th king and queen at its Royal Coronation Ball just last week. So.
And we just saw them. They're beautiful. That's awesome. And their outfits are so ornate and fantastic. Up next, another iconic Gasparilla float. It is the Black Pearl. And I love this float. It's something else. The ship takes design cues from the Black Pearl, and we're going to see that in 1 second.
Yeah, I think that's still Crew of Venus because they had two floats.
Oh, yeah?
Black Pearl's coming up next. There you go.
Yes. Oh, they're
the king and queen.
They have good music, too, once again.
There's the Black Pearl.
They have a lot of people on that float. The ship takes design cues from the Black Pearl in the Disney movie Pirates of the Caribbean. Crew members dress in outlandish pirate garb, and they even have members that are almost an exact copy of Captain Jack Sparrow. Throughout the year, they hold food drives. They do fundraisers. Their motto is integrity, loyalty, and commitment. They do a fantastic job. Good job, Crew of the Black Pearl. And they're having fun, too.
All right, sit tight. Much more to come here, live from Bayshore Boulevard. Fox 13 cameras up and down Bayshore for you here this afternoon. You've got the second best seat in the house, unless you were sitting here with us. Stay tuned. Back in a bit from Bayshore Boulevard. It's the 2020 Children's Gasparilla Parade right here on Fox.
Fast, you swabs. You're watching live coverage of the Ashley Home Store Children's Gasparilla, presented by Chick-fil-A Tampa Bay. Don't you make a move, matey. There's still lots more of this parade coming down Tampa's beautiful Bayshore Boulevard. It's the Ashley Home Store Children's Gasparilla, presented by Chick-fil-A Tampa Bay.
Back to our coverage of the 2020 Children's Gasparilla Parade. What a gorgeous day. Crowds are booming. Everybody's happy, and we're having a very good time. So many smiling faces out there today.
I'm trying to keep you from being pelted.
I know I got hit in the back pretty hard just a second ago.
There you go. There's two more.
Sweet. Thank you.
We're having a great time, and that was a crew of Shamrock that just came by, and they have great aim, by the way. A gorgeous float, but they have fantastic aim. Our own Chip Brewster has great aim, too, and Chip, we were quite impressed with these Fox 13 bandanas. We were at bandana school here earlier. What do you got this time?
Thank you. Good. Well, so I turned mine around a little bit, too. I went more of a Rambo look, but I'm still going to call that pirate today. So we're actually getting kind of close to you guys because we are at the very front of the Ye Mystic Crew Gasparilla's caravan, if you will, and that means that we are with the captain's car. So there's the captain. Let me swing around here. Sir, thank you for having me today. It's a great day. It is a great day. You guys work pretty hard to put this thing on every year, and I feel like it just gets bigger and bigger and more of a challenge. How do you take it on?
Well, it's a lot of work, but we saw a great air show today. We saw the paratroopers today from SOCOM. My ship is not far away. It'll be coming out momentarily, and then we will invade the city.
Yes, and that, of course, that is the kickoff, the start of the official Gasparilla season. So anything fun and exciting out there that people should really know about looking into our celebration?
Well, we're going to have a new mayor this year, and so it's all new to her. So we'll have to get her whipped into shape.
Give us the keys, or else.
She never does.
Oh, okay. It's a bit of a challenge then. And then I was actually talking with the mayor a little earlier. She's having a great time already today. Her and I both agreed, as many things as you guys set up as the Mystic Crew, this is our favorite. I don't know about you.
Yeah, this is the parade I grew up with as a child, and it's almost exactly like it. It brings back a lot of great memories.
So is it cool sitting in this spot then for this parade?
This is the best spot to be in any parade.
Well, I'm going to let you continue on with your spot, tossing the beads and representing the Ye Mystic Crew of Gasparilla, guys. There's a lot of these floats. This crew, I mean, that's the tip of the iceberg. And I know that there's a lot of descriptions you have in front of you, Mark and Kelly. I do want to point out one thing, though. The beads around my neck, I did not put there. They literally just got thrown onto me. And J-Mac already has 3 beads on his camera, too. So it's a good time all around, guys.
These pirates all have good aim. And you're right. We actually have a book just for Ye Mystic Crew.
I know, a lot of floats. You know what? We just heard him say, it is so, think about the history of the Children's Gasparilla Parade. He remembered coming here as a child. Now he is bringing his children here, and that's what it's all about. Around since 1947, and this is part of a wonderful part of the Tampa tradition.
Couldn't have a better day to bring this to you this afternoon. How many parades of years past has it been so cold or extra windy where we couldn't have the jumpers, but it's just cool enough today that nobody's sweating, slightly overcast skies. We're going to get a sunset out of all this. We had our Paracommandos jumping. We've got our Ye Mystic Crew Royal Float. This is actually the one that's right behind the captain's car. That's the King and Queen aboard for Ye Mystic Crew, and they're selected every February. You heard him say they're going to have a new mayor as well, but this year the King and Queen are Christopher Likes and Courtly Lawrence Ferrier. And Likes is an investor banker, served as director for Likes Brothers, and then Courtney comes from a long line of Gasparilla.
Oh, she does. I know her family is amazing. So we would like to say congratulations to them. Now, the next Ye Mystic Crew of Gasparilla pirate float is the Pirates Parapet. It's Ye Mystic Crew's next float. It features a Spanish castle with a huge treasure chest. And it is, the parapet is a defensive structure, something Jose Gaspar might have encountered as he terrorized the coastal waters of West Florida during the late 18th and 19th centuries. So we're moving right along. I think they have, did we say 12 floats for the Ye Mystic Crew of Gasparilla?
And we've only just begun, but look at all the crews. Yeah, this is
Skull and Treasure. It was created in 2016, so it's a relatively new float. This float is pretty complex. It even has a system allowing the skull to blow off a little steam. Let's see if we can time that just right for the cameras. Not sure it's going to happen, but there you go.
They got big. There you go. Here's some more black beads for you. They got big ones for Blackbeard.
Yes, they do. Awesome.
The Pelican is next. That's the Pelican. This is number 6 of 12 floats from the Ye Mystic Crew of Gasparilla. And when at sea sometimes, a pirate's only friend, they say, is the bird who happens to accompany them on their voyage, and that's why it's a Pelican. The Pelican featured in this float is a welcome sight, possibly dinner if their pirate's aim is steady. Not ours, but for their pirate, who's been at sea for many, many months, for sure.
We're dodging beads up here. That's for sure. The next cruise float is the 7th in line. It's Gillie's Gaspar ship. It highlights the cruise captains, past and present, and it celebrates their successful rule of the unruly pirates who serve under their command.
That may be the one so far that looks most like a real pirate ship.
It does.
cannons and all. But you really get a sense from the crowds here. The Kraken is probably one of my favorite. We get to see this every year. You really get a sense of the crowds here. They're pretty thick on both sides of Bayshore, which is really special. But this is the 8th float. This is the mythical sea creature called the Kraken, as it savors the devastated remains of a pirate ship crushed in the grips of its powerful tentacles there. The Kraken is huge. You really need to see it.
It is a big
First
ship.
debuted in this parade in 2014. Always a fan favorite as well, as colorful as you can imagine. They're throwing footballs from the top of the Kraken as well.
You can see every float that goes by today. It's full of families, parents, children, just having a blast. Just great to see. You know, one thing I noticed too is this beautiful float is going by, Mark, is that crowds got here really early today, I think, to see the planes.
The air show beforehand, the mini air fest, if you will, was a real big hit. We had that P-60 plane from World War II, as we see the Skeleton Cove come in, and that was a real cool thing for a lot of people here, and it was neat to see. But you're right, the crowds came out a little bit earlier today for sure, and they've been treated to quite a show so far.
Yes, they have. We're going to show some of the planes doing their show in a few minutes because it really was something. Now we have the Skeleton Cove that just passed, and now we have the Jose Gaspar ship. This is Ye Mystic Crew's 10th float. 10 cannons adorn each side of the fierce warship as she threatens the citizens of Tampa. So it really is beautiful. And then the cave.
That's the cave float.
The cave float. So it's all pirates like to make their home in the safety of a rock. Of course they do. And then that's the Happy Pirate. They're going fast. Look, they're just moving right along.
They are flying for sure.
This one debuted in 2010. It features a pirate celebrating the successful capture of the city of Tampa.
A lot of happy pirates here on Bayshore this afternoon, no doubt about that.
They work all year to put this together, and it's always wonderful and very rewarding to see it come to fruition in a successful way every time.
The Bonnie Reed crew coming up next. This is their 26th year as parading pirates as the Bonnie Reed crew. It's an all-female crew formed in '94 from the Hyde Park Women's Club. And we have Super Balls that are flying around now, too. The Bonnie Reed crew is based on the lives of 2 female pirates who sailed the Caribbean in the early 1700s, pretending to be men until they were captured by the British Navy and sentenced to be hanged. But Mary apparently died in prison, and Bonnie escaped, spent the rest of her life telling these wonderful pirate stories. But look at their costumes, too.
I know.
All their costumes really reflect all those stories. Which
They
is
do. We hear you. Next, we have some musicians and singers and artists and young scientists. After the Bonnie Reed, we're going to show you the next float. It's called Embracing Legacy, and that's coming up next. All right, Bonnie Reed, that you look fantastic. Let's go down to Chip right now. I know you're with the Grand Marshal. I'm sure that they're all having a great time. Chip?
Absolutely, and for those that didn't know who the Grand Marshal was, he's a man that's about twice my size, and I'm a pretty tall dude as it is, aptly named The Big Show.
Hi, everybody. You know, this job is a lot harder than it looks. You know, I don't feel like I'm getting the satisfaction out of it because I feel like I have a lot of disappointed customers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just can't throw enough beads out.
No, it's not physically possible with this crowd to throw enough beads.
Yeah.
There might be a Big Show lynching after the parade.
Now, I know you've been in Tampa before, and I believe you're also coming back as a part of WrestleMania, right?
I'm coming back here for WrestleMania, but I live here. I still have a home here in Tampa, and I'm actually moving back this March. So.
Heck yeah, it was Gasparilla, wasn't it? That's what brought you back.
Yeah, what brought me back is the Tampa atmosphere. Yes, I want to be back in Tampa. So
what's it like being the Grand Marshal of this kickoff to what is Tampa's favorite festivity?
What is insane is I've lived in Tampa since 1995, and I've never been.
What?
I'm usually.
How can you admit that on live TV?
Because I'm usually one working. For 25 years, I worked 5 days a week all over the world.
All right, that's fair.
I mean, you know, like literally, I was never home.
So this is not only your first time grand marshaling, but your first children's
experience. This place is absolutely amazing. It's insane. The people, the atmosphere, the pirate costumes, the food.
Yes.
I am so mad. I've missed out since 1995.
Well, it's okay. We've got you back now coming up in March, so you're going to be here almost every year unless the job pulls.
You're on my favorite eating places. Can't wait.
Well, you know what's funny? I have this segment on Fox 13 called Bay Area Best, and it's all about the best places to eat in Tampa.
Dude, when I come back here, you and I will go eat. That's awesome.
I promise you, and I've got some great ideas.
But you're paying.
I will absolutely. Well, hold on. We're going to a buffet, and I'll cover that one. Oh, my goodness. So you've got this parade. Any other events that you're a part of?
Right now, just this parade, but we're looking forward to coming back here for WrestleMania. That'll be April 5th. We've got Hall of Fame. We've got a week-long of activities between NXT, SmackDown. There's so many things going on that week. A lot of good economy will be coming in for people, hotels, rental cars, people from all over the world that come and see WrestleMania. So this is going to help local businesses in Tampa Bay. And plus, it's going to be one heck of a show.
So let me summarize. You're the big show, and there's a lot of you to go around, and you're going to spread it as much as you can.
I'm going to spread as much joy as I can. I'm trying. You know, I think I'm going to lose my bead throwing permit, though.
Well, I should let you get back to it, though, because we passed by so many people. Look at all those people.
Look at all these beautiful pirates. Arr!
Now, that's a pirate growl right there. I'm not even going to attempt to double that one. But we are up on the trunk of them at the moment. He's headed your way, though, Mark and Kelly, so look out. He's got quite a bead-throwing arm on him, as you can imagine.
He is fantastic. WrestleMania is going to be a big deal,
it's
too.
Huge. And tickets are selling very, very well as we look at the crew from St. Joe's Children's Hospital and Tampa International Airport as well. Much more to come here from Bayshore Boulevard. It's a beautiful day out here. If you're not out here with us, your next best seat in the house is right there where you are, getting comfortable on the couch. Much more coverage. We got another full hour and more to go here on Fox 13, bringing you the Children's Gasparilla Parade.
Now, don't you be changing the channel. There's more coverage coming up of the Ashley Home Store Children's Gasparilla, presented by Chick-fil-A Tampa Bay.
We can talk about him a little.
And welcome back.
You go for it.
Well, I was just going to show you some of the most amazing things that they have as we see I think that's the crew of Zingaro that's passing along here this afternoon. For those of you who are at home, I want to show you something real quick. So here's the kind of stuff that you're getting out here at the parade. We've got, this is from Tampa International Airport. If you have, it's not just beads. It's much more than just the beads. We have a football. That's what hit you in the back of the head.
I think it did a couple of times.
We have super balls as well. So it's neat as these crews are getting really creative with all the stuff that they have. And so many of these beads are special in their own special way. And it's going to be quite the cleanup effort for sure.
Oh, it always is.
It's over.
Every year. But it was interesting to hear Chip talk to the Big Show because he's very famous. My kids love him. But do you know how tall he is?
He looked a lot taller than Chip.
Yeah, he's really tall.
6'3"?
He's known as the world's largest athlete, standing at 7 feet tall.
What? Oh, really?
That's what it says.
Goodness.
One of the most decorated superstars in WWE history, and he is our Grand Marshal today.
Thankfully, he wasn't throwing beads. If he threw beads, then we'd be in trouble. There he is. Oh, he is throwing them now.
Oh, yes, he is. Yeah, he's in charge. And he's from the Tampa Bay area, so you know he loves being part of this. Outside the ring, he's made his mark in Hollywood. He appeared in Waterboy, Knucklehead, and starring in the upcoming Netflix comedy series, The Big Show. So we're glad that he's part of the Children's Gasparilla Parade.
And look who's next. St. Joseph's Children's Hospital. They are home to, I was amazed when I heard this number, 240 physicians with 80 different pediatric specialties. That's really amazing. All the great work that they do. And we know that all of their heroes, you talk about heroes, they have heroes each and every day that are making miracles happen over at that hospital. And I know a lot of them are here with their team members and maybe some family members as well. This parade actually includes hospital team members and families of the Unmonsters float, which actually turns kids' fears upside down. That's the whole Unmonsters thing, not monsters, the Unmonsters. And they say you can download the Unmonsters app in the App Store and then Google Play as well if you want to check that out. But a great way to really bring some joy into a child's life who's not doing so well.
Right. You know, it's interesting because it's not just members of crews that are in the parade today with their floats, but you have lots of people, lots of organizations that sponsor floats and just be part of the community, which is so nice to see. Look at those sweet babies taking a little nap, enjoying the ride.
Talk about strolling along Bayshore. All of the noise is music to their ears as well, as we have the Voodoo crew coming up next. Let's get back out there in the middle of it. Chip Brewster's there. Chip, who you got?
Well, I took a load off, jumped in a car, and it just so happens it is the community hero. Yes, we have a community hero in the parade. Could you introduce yourself, sir?
I'm Gary Markell.
And then I know that we told your story yesterday, but for those that didn't see it, can you give us a little synopsis of what you've done for our community?
Well, what we did is we started a charity for the Wounded Special Operations Troops and sent them on week-long therapeutic healing and bonding retreats at donated vacation homes all over the country.
And I imagine that is something that there's a great need for, just given how much time in service and deployments our military have gone through in these last couple decades.
Very much so. Most of our leads come from CARE Coalition at MacDill Air Force Base, SOCOM. And unfortunately, they have over 15,000 members, so our database is too big.
Yeah, that number alone just proves that there was a need for what you did. So what prompted you, what inspired you to start something like that?
Well, to be quite honest, I was channel surfing one day and came across the History Channel, and I saw some people teaching the soldiers how to scuba dive down in St. Thomas without their limbs.
Yeah.
So they were scooching down the beach, and my wife and I are fortunate enough to have a yacht, so I called up General Brown and offered the yacht. He put me in touch with CARE Coalition, so that's what started.
And then it just kept going from there and on, and now here you are, the community hero.
No, I'm not the hero. The hero are the people we're helping.
Well,
in the uniform.
Here's the thing, and now I have not served in the kind of capacity that the people you've helped have served, but after 13 years in the Army Reserve, I have spoken to plenty of guys and gals that have been through that kind of thing, and without you, they would not be able to come back from the service that they gave. So you may not be the hero to the country, sir, but you are definitely the hero to them. So I know they thanked you.
Well, let me put it this way: if it wasn't for you, the people in uniform, we wouldn't have had pleasures that we have today and the safety we have.
Absolutely. Like, we wouldn't be able to do this fantastic event, this Gasparilla Children's event. Have you been a part of this parade before?
No, this is the first time.
Oh, man, and you're riding in style, too.
I'm riding in style in the convertible.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for doing another TV interview with us. I appreciate it. Anybody out there that's watching, when this one comes by, make sure you are cheering really loud. Marky Kelly, he's on his way to you, coming up.
He is indeed. Gary Markell has done so much for all of our heroes, and Operation Healing Forces is an amazing charity that he has started, and they really do amazing things. They're bringing a lot of vets back together in their own relationships, which is important because for so many that we know, this is a struggle that they don't battle alone. They battle with their spouse or their loved ones. So to be able to bond with them in a very special place, like on his yacht or maybe another place around the world, is very special.
Oh, it certainly is. And he is a true hero. And even though he would not like to admit that, think about all that he does. We're very happy that they're able to honor him today, the Children's Gasparilla Parade. All right, we have so much more, so many more floats to show you, so many more smiling faces, and we will bring it to you in just a few minutes as our coverage of the 2020 Children's Gasparilla Parade continues on Fox 13.
Don't you make a move, matey. There's still lots more of this parade coming down Tampa's beautiful Bayshore Boulevard. It's the Ashley Home Store Children's Gasparilla, presented by CHICK-FIL-A Tampa Bay.
And welcome back. We've got the best seat in the house, trying to give you the second best seat in the house here high atop our Fox 13 perch overlooking Bayshore Boulevard right here at DeSoto. And it's been a great parade so far. We're just barely halfway through. All these junior pirates enjoying all the fun and the magic that is the Children's Gasparilla Parade.
Yes, it is a beautiful day. Let's go out to our Fox 13 float. Charley Belcher is on that float. Charley, have you guys started moving yet?
We are moving, but it's interesting lesson in, I guess, physics, the way a parade works, because the parade kicked off, at like 3:30 this afternoon, and we didn't move for like 40 minutes after that, and we've been moving for a while, but we're technically not even past Beta Bay, which is where the parade officially begins. That's why nobody is throwing beads yet. You're not allowed to throw the beads until after you pass Beta Bay. So they're anxiously awaiting some bead throwing. Meanwhile, it's a chance to get to meet some more Fox 13 family and their families, because wait a second, you're a Cato, aren't you? See, the Cato's always trying to get on TV. All right, move along, Cato, move along, Cato, move along, because the Webbers haven't been on yet. Meteorologist Jim Weber, you bring your kids out?
Yeah, we got Hannah, we got Matt, and they're pretty excited. He told me about 5 minutes ago, he said, this is the most fun. I said, we haven't done anything yet.
Started yet? You having fun already?
Yeah.
That's good. Now, when you saw me over here with the microphone, you went over and asked your dad a question, and I'd like to know, on live television, what did you ask your dad?
I told him that you looked like Jack Black.
Did you go up and say, is that Jack Black over there? Yes, they flew Jack Black in from Hollywood to do this gig today. That's exactly what happened. I am Jack Black. Did you like the latest Jumanji?
Yeah.
You're welcome. All right. Jim, thanks, buddy.
I worked with Jack Black. How about that?
Jim goes home and tells his kids that he works with Jack Black. Hey, it's tough to get the kids to like you sometimes. I get it. Mike, you go that way. I'll go this way. And we'll say hi to Jennifer Epstein. Don't you turn your back on me, because this is normally Jen's job. I'm sorry if I took your job away from you this year.
You're never going to let me do it again. You're doing it so much better.
I'll let you do it anytime. You can take over right now if you like.
Thanks.
All right. Paul Delgado was here?
Yes.
Look at that, the chief.
Everywhere I went, I walked from like Beta Bay all the way to the float, and everyone's saying, thanking me for the weather. So the question is, if it was bad, would it be my fault?
No, it'd be his fault.
No, I blame it on him. No, him, seriously.
Listen, Paul, you were one time the Grand Marshal of this parade. What is it like to go down through the middle of all of this that we're about to see?
People, and they're all yelling, Charlie Belcher, Charlie Belcher. We love Charlie.
Apparently they're yelling Jack Black.
It's good. This is fantastic.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's a good time. It's great.
I remember, I got to tell you, before I toss back, Paul and I were on this float. It must have been about 10 years ago. We both had our daughters. They were little girls, and now they're both at the University of Florida. They're not here with us.
And they're all saying, I think I'll stay here.
Yeah.
They're all waiting for the real parade or the big parade next week.
That's right. I should say the real parade. That's right. Well, there you go. Gasparilla Children's Parade. We are anxiously awaiting to throw some beads, but I can confirm the Fox 13 float officially underway. Mark and Kelly, back to you.
Charlie, thanks. It is a natural progression from this week to next, so we can understand.
Yes, we can.
Thinking about all of our kiddos. All of our kiddos were on the float at one point, too.
They were. When they were young, they were. We waved at them, but my favorite is the Children's Gasparilla Parade. It's so much calmer, so much happier.
That's the crew of Sea Save Yours right behind us.
The group has a steampunk theme, if you will. The designs are inspired by 19th century and industrial steam-powered machinery. It's a very big pirate ship, too. 45 feet long.
Love their costumes.
12 feet high, 11 feet wide. Lots of great costumes. Features a mechanical octopus at the bow, and it's called the KRAKEN. There it is. Crew of the Sea Save Yours. They're a nonprofit organization established to promote and develop safe, economical, and enjoyable recreational trailer boating and fishing. Their mission is to help inform the public about boating and trailer regulations with an emphasis on safety.
If I'm judging floats and costumes and crews so far, they're up there. Bravo to the crew of Sea Save Yours, because they're looking fantastic here this afternoon.
They are.
Crew of Mombi coming up next right behind them. They are dedicated to the heritage, restoration, and revival of the historic Cuban Club in downtown Ybor City, of course. There they are. They were formed in 1998 to commemorate the courage and patriotism of peasant rebels who fought for Cuban independence in the 19th century. And look at their soldier uniforms. That's what I love about them, too. The authenticity of their uniforms is always special. They are truly a lot of fun. Replicas of the Cuban and Tampa freedom fighters of the late 1800s, the crew of Mombi. But you know what? You want to go down to Chip Richard?
I think let's do. Chip, I hear you have some exciting guests right now. What's going on?
That's a fair toss anytime you guys want to throw it out to me, because we're at the Gasparilla Children's Parade, right? So I'm taking you on a little different perspective than we usually give you at Fox 13. The parade's over there. It's over that way. We're a little bit off the road because I wanted to talk about some of the other things that happen out here. First of all, if you're hungry, watch for that Chick-fil-A float. Anybody that is out there, Mark and Kelly, because it's not chicken nuggets, but it is cookies. These are instead of beads. I think that's a really good trade-off. Now, if you are hungry and you miss the Chick-fil-A float or they run out of cookies, then there's a bunch of groups like Troop 53. Yes, I got some Boy Scouts here. I knew I could find someone else that would love a good handkerchief, so we were just going to stop by their stand and see what's going on. What's up, Troop 53? All right, who's in charge here? Who's the head Boy Scout? He's raising his hand. Oh, he's the one handling the money. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
The money man. Go ahead, take care of the transaction. Customer first. That's what it's all about. All right, so what are you guys doing out here today?
We are selling concessions for Gasparilla. Everyone is here. We got drinks. We got snacks. We got candy. Anything you need. Lowest prices on the block. We got it here.
There you go. Sell it. I'm loving it. So, and I understand too that when people come by here, not only are they going to get their snack, their drink, their refreshment, but buying from you guys, it's then going to go right back and help the troop, right?
Yes, sir. All profits go to our troop to fund whatever we need to do, whether it's helping the community, helping ourselves, or just it all goes.
Okay, it's been a while since I was in Boy Scouts, but I was in Boy Scouts. I was in Aero Light. I made it to life. That's as far as I went. And I feel like if I challenged myself to do is it the oath? That's the long one. I would mess it up. Is that the long one?
Both are kind of
both are kind of long. But you guys are going to get it right because you're Life Scouts, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me hear it. Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind,
obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Yes! Oh, you didn't see me off camera, but I was saying it along with them, and I remembered 98%. So obviously the Scouts had an impact on me. You guys are having a good time, right? Yeah, out here at Children's Gasparilla. Okay, well, I'm going to let you get back to selling. You've got a whole line of customers now that want to get a little bit of refreshment to keep partying with this parade. So guys, Mark and Kelly, make sure you get that Chick-fil-A cookie. I hope they don't run out of them before they get to you. But there's a second Chick-fil-A float in this thing, so maybe they'll have something else for you.
I think that's great. Tell the Boy Scouts we're very proud of them. Fantastic. They did a great job. Thank you so much, Chip. See you in a few minutes. Now I think we're at the award-winning Extreme Dance Company. Look at them. Students learn a variety of dances, African, step, Latin, and hip-hop, among so many others. And their mission is to create a family dance environment where everybody feels welcome, and they've done a great job. They're located at the corner of Havana and Columbus Drive in the heart of West Tampa. They're having a good time out there.
They are moving off the float and on, for sure.
Yes, they are. Lots of exercise going on today, too. Now we have the Tampa YMCA. They're dedicated to strengthening families. Love the YMCA by getting them active and having fun together. The WISE programs for kids and adults, everything, the whole family can work out together. The WISE inviting you to a free family pirate party tomorrow from 1 to 3 at the South Tampa YMCA on Himes Avenue. Okay, you may want to wear your best pirate gear, enjoy lots of food and pirate-themed games and crafts, because it is the Gasparilla season. So they're going to have a good time and make sure everybody does.
South Tampa YMCA on Himes. Good,
Yes.
check it out. That'll be a lot of fun.
They did a good job with their float. Every year they do. Oh, now we have like a tank coming up right behind the Y. You're
That's
about
Frank.
to see that.
That's not just a tank.
Frank the
That's
tank.
Frank the tank.
There you go, Frank the Tank.
There's a crew of Semper Fi. Yeah, Frank the Tank is representing the crew of Semper Fi, founded in 2018. So brand new, just about. An outreach program of Marine families, but they're inclusive to all branches of military veterans and patriotic supporters. The tank is a great look here this afternoon. Very well done.
And now we have the Children's Gasparilla Museum, and there, look at this. This is a wonderful presentation they have for the parade. It's the museum, of course, is located in downtown Tampa. It's one of our crown jewels, and it encourages children to play with purpose in an interactive learning environment. And they have brought along a lot of wonderful things to share with the crowd out here, and that's the Glazer Children's Museum.
Appreciate all they do for sure, and appreciate you guys and gals at home for sticking with us here at Fox 13. We have another full hour of coverage live on Fox 13 of the Children's Gasparilla Parade. Don't move.
Now, don't you be changing the channel. There's more coverage coming up of the Ashley Home Store Children's Gasparilla, presented by Chick-fil-A Tampa Bay.
And welcome back to Bayshore Boulevard and Fox 13's coverage of the 2020 Children's Gasparilla Pirate Parade. And we got pirates of all ages here today.
We do. You notice there's no cannon fire, no loud explosions, because they did not want to allow that for the Children's Gasparilla Parade, because kids, and that would be hard for them. So I like that a lot. I think it's great. Now we're looking at the Academy of the Holy Names, where my daughter graduated from. Wonderful school located right down here on Bayshore Boulevard. They've actually they were founded in 1881. They've been around a long time, but all ages. It's a pre-K through 12th grade school, and a lot of the 8th graders are on these floats, are walking. A lot of the seniors. The school was actually founded in a blacksmith shop on Zack Street, and as it grew, it relocated several times until the current school, located right here on Bayshore Boulevard, was built in 1928. So it's awesome. I think we're going to check in with Laura Moody, who's in our special Unit 13. Unit 13. Laura, can you hear us?
It is. I can. Hey guys, I hope y'all are having a good Gasparilla. Kelly, I'm with you. This is the best parade. It really is. It's the perfect way to kick off the season. So we have to wait until we get to Beta Bay to start throwing the beads. I'm sure Charlie told you, but so we've got like the perfect mechanics. I got my cues here with me. We've been working on, throwing. What has happened historically for me is that I throw the bead and then subsequently end up apologizing for what is going. Like, I'll throw it and then, oh, I'm sorry. And so we got this going on, and we're getting ready to start. So why don't we check in with you guys in just a little bit?
All right. Thank you, Laura.
Good.
Now we have the Rough Riders. This is another parade within a parade, actually. They have 6 vehicles in the Rough Riders organization. Started with the trolley that represents the era in which Teddy Roosevelt and his Rough Riders arrived in Tampa before heading to Cuba and the Battle of San Juan Hill. I love the Rough Riders. They do so much for our community.
When you think about the history of the Rough Riders and what they did here in Tampa Bay many decades ago, and what they still do today in hospitals all across the Tampa Bay area, it's very special. They really put their hearts into it. We appreciate all that they do, and all of their family members as well for supporting them throughout the year, and all their floats. And because they don't just have one, they have 6 here today.
I know. They're rolling along. That's awesome. The second float is the train and coal car. You just saw a glimpse of that. Roosevelt and his Rough Riders Regiment came to Tampa in June of 1898, and they stayed at the Tampa Bay Hotel, which today, of course, you know what it is? The University of Tampa. Little history. So much history in the Tampa Bay area that we all need to know better. And it's celebrated during Gasparilla season.
that's the Yucatan. This is number 3 of 6 floats that the Rough Riders have. And this resembles the steamship Yucatan, which carried the Rough Riders from Tampa to Cuba and back and forth. And once they actually got to Cuba, they set up camp and planned their attack on a Spanish outpost, which, as they say, led them to the Battle of San Juan Hill, where they saw the victory of the Spanish. So number 3 of 6 floats for the Rough Riders today, the Yucatan.
They put a lot of work into their floats, too. Right behind the Yucatan, we have the modern-day Rough Riders float, the Mack truck, actually. The float and Mack truck, and it is a big, big truck. Established in 1978 to commemorate and recognize the contributions made by Roosevelt's regiment. This was the Rough Riders' history. They're also involved in the community. They host the Teddy Bear Run, where they collect teddy bears and they deliver hundreds and hundreds of teddy bears to children in the hospital.
Let's get down to the parade route. Fox 13's Chip Carter. That doesn't get old. I'm sure you've heard that before, Chip Brewster. That's not the first time that's happened. It probably won't be the last.
Well, you know, there's a first time for everything, right? And that was bound to happen eventually, so I forgive you. Don't worry. But I'm out here. A lot of the floats are great. The cars are great. One of my favorite groups are the dance groups, because they get out here, they bust the music. Take a look at this group. This is Mary Jo's that are strutting their stuff over here. And I've got, what's your name, ma'am?
Krisha Despines.
So Trisha's here, and tell me about the group of ladies that we have out here strutting their stuff.
This is Universal Movement Performing Arts Company, and we're a dance troupe from Tampa that likes to just perform for Tampa Bay, and we're from Mary Jo's Performing Arts Academy, and we offer all dance and acting and voice and musical theater. It's a performing arts academy.
So at one point, are you guys going to stop and act out an entire play for us?
We wish we could if you would give us time.
Oh, man, if we had the time, we would. But I'll tell you, the rest of the parade wouldn't be so happy about that. So you guys come out, you strut your stuff. You're saying it's just for Tampa Bay. That means there's not a competition element to this.
Well, we do have a competition team, but we have over 700 students. So we cater to all levels, from beginner to intermediate to advanced competitors.
And then also all interests then, like if someone just wants to do it for fun and doesn't want the stress of having to take home a trophy, for instance.
Absolutely. We have a place for everybody.
Is this a particular dance or move, or is this something you guys just choreograph for the parade?
This is our competitive team and our performance team coming together, and it's just a little fun parade march that we put together for today.
Nice. Well, the ladies, you are looking awesome. Yeah, they got those moves going on. Mark and Kelly, I bet you could copy this pretty quick if you really... Not to put you on the spot or anything.
I'm impressed, that's for sure. Thank you so much, Chip. Now you're looking at the all-star cheer team from the city of Tampa, Parks and Rec Department. After school and summer programs are offered here, and they allow kids to take part in the cheer programs, and they're having a blast. And now we have the mystic crew of the Santa Margarita.
The next two floats, the handiwork of the crew of Santa Margarita, because they take their name from a Spanish galleon that sank off Florida in, let's just say, a long time ago. How about 1622? I can barely even think that far back. The crew is the largest in Pinellas County, more than 260 members strong. Their second float is called the Rosario. That's the gallon coming up next. Dressed as Spanish royalty and mariners. Their mission is to represent the city of Clearwater, and I would say they do that very well.
Yes, they certainly do. And do something fabulous is the motto of the crew of girls in pearls, and I think that is the next float that we're about to see. Their costumes are reminiscent of the 1950s cocktail party, and their float is a nightclub, and they're having a good time. This Sisterhood of Friends helps support the Kind of Mouse, a local charity that discreetly delivers bags of food to needy children, all doing good deeds in our community.
And we'll let them take us into our next commercial break, but don't move. We have another 45 minutes to go. We've got live coverage of the parade right up until the news begins at 6. So don't move. Much more to come here from Bayshore Boulevard.
Avast, you swabs! You're watching live coverage of the Ashley Home Store Children's Gasparilla, presented by CHICK-FIL-A Tampa Bay.
Everybody to our Fox 13 coverage of the 2020 Children's Gasparilla Parade. What a beautiful day out here. 133 floats, dance troops, bands, cars, you name it, all out here celebrating anything about Gasparilla, and it is a beautiful day, and it couldn't be better.
Honking the horns, throwing the beads. This is number 86 in the group, the Crew of F Troop. And they take us back to the iconic 1960s sitcom that took place at Fort Courage after the American Civil War. This is a replica of Fort Courage. The whole float is. There's a better view of it. The crew has a renegade attitude, supporting the Boys and Girls Clubs of Tampa, the VA games for disabled vets, the poker run for help, and then our local Shriners of Tampa Bay, too. So another shout out and another thank you to everybody who's in these troops and groups that all year long do really amazing things for our community and really lift the spirits of so many people in need, because that's really why they do it.
Yes, that is so true. That's why they were formed. Our next float has a rocket attached, so guess what? You see right there, Mosey. Of course, that's so appropriate. The Museum of Science and Industry. Mosey features more than 100 STEAM-inspired hands-on exhibits on this float. Also features the Idea Zone, Dynovations Lab, Mission Moon Base, and an art factory at Mosey. It's a wonderful place to take children and to take visitors into the Tampa Bay area. It's just, I love Mosey. I always have since my kids were little.
Anytime you can get dinosaurs on a float, it's a good day.
I think that's true.
St. Bridget coming up next. This is number 88 of our lineup for you here today. We got well over 100, so many more to go. But St. Bridget takes its name from St. Bridget in Ireland, who's legendary for being able to turn water into wine. Don't need to do that today because we're alcohol-friendly, alcohol-free, not friendly.
No.
That's next week. Probably alcohol too friendly for some folks, but their float here, St. Bridget, resembles an Irish country home and incorporates symbols of Bridget's life. The crew supports women and children's charities this year, focused on helping children who are aging out of foster care and ending homelessness.
Oh, that's so good. Thank goodness they're doing that. Next, we have the crew of Bobby C. Davis. Sailing is a way of life for the crew of the Bobby C. Davis. They take their name from the first Commodore of the Davis Island Yacht Club. And actually, we can see the Davis Island Yacht Club from where we're sitting right now. It's at the tip of Davis Islands. And he was also a pioneer of yacht racing in the Tampa Bay area, which sounds so exotic and fun. Their float was entirely handmade by its members, and they support and promote youth and disabled sailing activities, which is fantastic.
We have a real gem in this area, and that is the water around us. And you want to make sure that anybody who wants to enjoy that water around us can. And it's really neat that they get to do that. So we appreciate all that they've done. And I think we got the freebooters coming up next.
Yeah, the West Chase freebooters are up next. They have 6 mermaids at the front of their float. In the 16th century, freebooters would sail the 7 seas in search of mermaids. And these modern freebooters dedicate their fundraising efforts to charities like Metropolitan Ministries, which we love, of course, the West Chase Charitable Foundation, and the Ocean's Daughter Conservation Alliance. We like the floats that have good music.
Yeah, we do indeed. Your crew of Sir Henry Morgan coming up next. There's actually 2 here, and these next 2 floats are an awful lot of fun. They're from the crew of Sir Henry Morgan, which pays homage to Admiral Sir Henry Morgan and his raiders. Yes, we're honoring pirates.
Of course.
Think about that for a second,
we?
But that's part of the fun. The first float is the Port Royal, which is modeled after Morgan's favorite tavern in Jamaica. And then the second is called Satisfaction. You're going to see that in a bit. That's modeled after the largest ship of their fleet. They founded in 2001. They are 80 members strong, and they're having a great time here this afternoon. Good-looking floats, crew of Sir Henry Morgan, for sure.
And we talked about this a little bit earlier, but think about this. They spend so long getting their floats ready. And it's worth it because it's making a lot of people happy.
And you can tell a lot of them have been updated. They look brand new. They spend a lot of time on them year to year. So they seem to be getting bigger.
I know they do. I think
and
a lot of them,
as well.
I think a lot of them have bathrooms on board too, which I think would be a kind of a critical thing.
Yeah, this is number 2 of Sir Henry Morgan. That's true. That's a good point. That's Satisfaction. modeled after the largest ship in Sir Henry Morgan's fleet. Steps towing, pulling them along. You can hear them, enjoy them.
All right, let's go out to Chip. And Chip, I understand you're right in the middle of some fun and frivolity. What's going on?
Absolutely. So we gave a little bit of time to the Boy Scouts, Troop 55 selling the snacks over there. We figured we should balance it out with some Girl Scouts. So the Girl Scouts of West Central Florida, they've got their own float here. Here are some of those Girl Scouts, but I have got, it was Amaya, correct?
Yes.
I've got Amaya joining me. So Amaya, I've got two questions for you. One, when do the Girl Scout cookies show up?
Usually around February.
Around February. Okay, so as Gasparilla ends, a different season comes to life. That's Girl Scout cookie season. But two, my second question is, could you teach me how to properly throw a bead?
Yes.
Okay, so give me the technique, the Girl Scout technique here.
So first you want to have one bead and you put it in your hand like
Can I borrow a bead? Is that all right? Get in here. All right, I got it.
And you want to put it in a bowl and then underhand throw it like that.
Underhand. Do you try and pick someone out? Do you aim?
You want them to look at you.
Ooh, so you make eye contact.
Yeah.
All right, let me give this a try. Looking, there's eye contact. Okay, toss, catch. All right, was that a success?
Yeah.
Did I qualify for the merit badge?
Yes.
Did you hear that, guys? It's been so long since I've gotten a merit badge. And I've never had a Girl Scout merit badge, so today's a special day for me because I did it. I'm so excited. Okay, the parade continues. Beads are flying everywhere. Mark and Kelly. How did that happen? I'm on a float. Beads are in my That's crazy. Back to you guys.
Chip, I hope you're having a good time because I know this is your first experience being right in the middle of everything, and I hope you haven't gotten hit by any beads because Mark and I have.
Old Mickey's Farm is right behind him coming up next, and we just missed the Pest Bear if you saw them coming. But Old Mickey's Farm, they're next. They're one of Florida's most unique, educational, and hands-on animal farms, as opposed to any other kind of farm. But they've got pigs, they got chickens, they have cows. It's a real-life farm, folks. They've got a hay ride and a barn maze, if you're up for that. They've even got a traditional bright red barn as well. If you're looking for Old Mickey's, it's on Crescent Drive. Go check them out sometime. They're in Odessa. Just don't get lost in the maze.
Oh, no, not at all. And now we have the Boy Scouts. Chip talked to them a little while ago. They're the Greater Bay Area Council of Boy Scouts. There are 192 Boy Scout troops and 189 Cub Scout troops throughout 9 local counties that make up the council, and that represents more than 15,000 scouting youth. We're delighted that they're part of the Children's Gasparilla Parade as well.
Doing it the hard way, too. A lot of them out there walking because they have family members. They got their flags with them, and they got their smiles, which is really important. They're all having a great time.
Right behind them is Hillsborough County Public Schools. And kids will be off school on Monday, which makes this a nice long weekend for everybody. And Hillsborough Schools, a little bit of a background as they're coming up right now. It's the 8th largest school district. I didn't realize it was that big.
It's pretty big.
In the nation. The 8th largest in the nation. And this is the float for the Boy Scouts. A lot of kids on that float, having a good time, throwing a lot of beads. A lot of parents out here walking with their kiddos, too. And now here's the Hillsborough Public Schools float that I talked about. It's a little red schoolhouse, which is adorable. The mission for the school system is to provide an education and the supports that enable each student to excel as a successful and responsible citizen.
We have much more to come here from Bayshore Boulevard as the Children's Gasparilla Parade and Invasion continues. We've got live coverage for more than another half hour or so till the top of the hour when the news begins. So don't move. Much more to come right after this.
Avast, you swabs! You're watching live coverage of the Ashley Home Store Children's Gasparilla, presented by CHICK-FIL-A Tampa Bay.
And welcome back to Bayshore Boulevard. Boy, what a day we have gotten. The weather gods have smiled on us for sure, because it has been a gorgeous day. Just a little bit of sunshine and a little bit of cloud cover, but the perfect breeze and all of these amazing junior pirates collecting their beads. Look at all the smiles. Look at all the fun that they have been having. And we still have more to go.
Yes, we do. They're going to have a big loot to take home. Did you see all the beads around those necks? Look how adorable that is. I always love to see that. It's just one of my favorite things.
And the Fox 13 bandanas, too.
I know.
A big hit today.
Very,
we don't have ours
popular.
on. We'll have ours on after the newscast, but
no,
we do have them.
We'll have to take one home for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Chip to find out what's going on where you are, Chip.
I'm posing for a photo. Hold on. Hey, I'm a reporter. You all right, bud? I'm stuck. It's okay. There you go. Yeah, no, that's the right way to do it. Just get that. It's not just about me. It's about the microphone. You good, J-Mac? Okay. He got a little overwhelmed. He's got like 20 beads on the camera. It gets really heavy after a while. But, I mean, he's got some. Look at this guy. How many beads are you wearing?
I don't know, like a million?
Like a million. He has been trying to count, and it got out of control. How are you today? Great. 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 How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. Everyone's good. This is the craziest thing. Your mom's right there. This is the great pipe. Say hi to your mom on TV. No, look at TV and say hi to your mom.
Hi, Mom.
She's not going to see it. That's the funniest thing. Whoa. Are you giving that to her?
Yeah!
Did you guys see what
Gasparilla's all about, guys, right there.
So there's something about this. I was never a kid at Gasparilla Children's Parade, and I am so jealous of all of you right now. So who's having the most fun out here? This is a tough competition. So what is the most fun about this parade for you?
Catching beads.
Catching beads. Does anybody have anything else that's fun? What is fun for you?
Spending time with family and friends.
Oh my goodness. Where's your parents? Did you hear what he said? Where are they? They're way back there. He's spending time with his family, but they're back there. But they're close enough to each other. So we're having a great time.
Who wants some beads here?
Oh my goodness.
Anybody? Anybody at all?
Have you guys been experiencing very loud speakers along the parade route? Okay. I gotta take cover. Mark and Kelly, can you take it? Oh my goodness, they're aiming for us now.
Oh, I know they are. You watch out out there, Chip.
Take cover quickly.
Thank you.
All right, let's see who's got coming up next here. I think it's the crew of Ybor, unless they have already passed us as well.
Oh, I think that's coming up right away.
We're staring into the sunlight a little bit, so this is when the parade really kind of starts to stretch out a little bit. But we are on roughly about 100 of 133, I think was our number. So about another half hour's worth of coverage and many more here to come. And it looks like...
Well, I think that's the crew of Ybor. They were established in 1999. Floats and costumes of the crew depict the days of Ybor past. They do a beautiful job, too. It looks like a traditional brick storefront. And it features original Ybor City street signs, too, which is so cool. The float also includes flags from Cuba and Germany and Italy, representing the melting pot of immigrants that came to Ybor in the 1880s. And the group's mission is to recognize and celebrate the cultural diversity of the Ybor City National Landmark Historic District. This is the crew of Ybor. And we're at float number 103. And next we have the loyal crew of Grace O'Malley. They are always having a good time. They actually have two floats, Mark. Ye loyal crew of Grace O'Malley, but they became the first all-women's crew back in 1992, inspired by a real female Irish pirate from the 16th century. Their float is modeled on Grace O'Malley's Castle Rock fleet. There we are. There, you're seeing it now. This year, the crew is supporting the Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Always trying to do a good job. And they do have two floats. Right behind them is another Grace O'Malley float. I love their costumes. They're always so elaborate and ornate.
And Tunnel to Towers Foundation, of course, what a great beneficiary. It's really nice that they're able to do that for all those family members,
yes.
of those who were lost when the towers fell on that fateful day. So it's nice to know that still being remembered and taken care of.
Still so beautiful out here.
Give it up for O'Malley 27, Kim Adler. She's got the good beads.
And next we have the Patel Conservatory and their dance unit with a float sponsored by, of course, the Patel Conservatory. This is at the Strad Center, and they train students in fine arts of all kinds. It's a wonderful organization. Mark, I know you've gone down there and your family has gone down to speak and to teach. It offers summer camps and classes in dance and music and theater for students of all ages and experience levels. And what a fun place to go and spend the summer or classes during the school year.
All kinds of great work. Our own Chip Brewster is dancing amongst the crowd down there as well. Chip, take it away.
You guys, you were talking about family there. I found my family, my TV family. The Fox 13 float is here. All of your favorite personalities. I got it. I got it. It wasn't on air, Linda, but I got it. And then among them, hey, who's this guy? Hi. Are you having fun down there? Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun. This is the weirdest thing because last year I was in a car and you were interviewing me, but now this year I'm on the street and you're in the thing and I'm interviewing you.
And I like it better up here.
Do you really?
I do.
Well, then you're welcome for giving you a little bit of relief.
Thank you.
Have you gotten any beads thrown at you up there?
Not yet. I'm doing the throwing, which is much more fun.
Charlie, I've got wounds, sir.
Yeah, oh yes. I should have told you to wear a hard hat.
So you guys are coming up on our booth up there, and this is what I want you to do. Mark and Kelly, they're having so much fun having beads thrown at them. Yeah, they told me this year. I don't know why it's a different year. Okay. But just target them if you don't mind.
All right, so we'll all throw them beads, and they must be missing us. Okay.
Just one big Fox 13.
I got a special green pair USF colors for J-Mac. You got my guy over there, so there you go. All right.
All right, you guys keep having fun up on that float. I'm gonna keep having fun down here on the street. Oh, sorry about that, Mark and Kelly. They might be aiming for you coming up here in a minute.
Oh, they better not. I'll be mad at them.
It's about an hour's worth of pent-up frustration waiting in the back of the line.
Right it is. It's hard to wait to throw at Beta Bay Boulevard, that's for sure.
We will see them shortly in a bit, though, for sure. That's the crew of the unsinkable crew of Molly Brown. This is always a cool ship, of course. Titanic's most famous survivor is Molly Brown, and they honor the woman who helped save many lives as that ship went down. And look at their costumes, too. They got it. There's even an iceberg. Did you see the iceberg on the front of it? That's what you left your screen. They're all dressed like the Titanic passengers. They support local charitable organizations and also post 9/11 veterans as well. So it's always a fun float to look at, to see them all enjoying themselves.
And they do so much for our community as well. And next we have St. John's Episcopal Day School right behind Unsinkable crew of Molly Brown, and there they are. Go Eagles. Here comes the students from St. John's. The 8th graders are the ones aboard the float, which is really a treat for them. St. John's is the oldest Episcopal school in the region, and it just shows this is all about kids, bringing the kids out to support and celebrate for the Children's Gasparilla Parade. They have a lot of beads to throw, too.
They have good aim as well.
Yeah, they do. Watch out. Okay, that is the crew of South Shore Marauders. And it looks like they're ready to hit the high seas. The group was founded, they've been around a while, 2002. And they're a nonprofit organization dedicated to fun, fellowship, raising awareness of local issues in Hillsborough County. And their motto is one for all and all for one. Laugh, respect one another, and do good deeds. So thank you for that. Their mascot is the West Indies manatee. They're having fun today.
Coming up next is your all-female crew of the Thieves of San Lorenzo, and this is a tropical design. Again, the colors, the richness of all of it. We hope it really comes through on TV, because in person, these floats are amazing. These are tropicals, grottos, waterfalls, sand dunes, and as their legend goes, thieves are really heroes who got their name after pirates raided their fort back in the 1600s. Yes, you do. While all the men were away at war, the women banded back together to steal back what the pirates had. Watch for a second.
I'm really impressed with all of these floats, and they go all out. And every year they add more and more on there. Ouch. Our photographer just got hit in the head with a bead. Hope he's okay.
Hazards of the job. We know.
Raise those hands up. Make some noise. Make some noise. Make some noise.
All right, we've been waiting a while for our colleagues. Charlie, finally you are to us. Thank goodness. How are you, pal?
Here we are. Hey, this is fun, Kelly. I got to tell you, this is the place to be on this Fox 13 float. We're having a ball. Oh, look, there they are, buddy. Hi, Kelly and Mark. Hi, guys. And no matter what Chip Brewster said, do not throw beads at them. Give them to the kids. That's who wants it. Now, speaking of beads, Sorbani Banerjee, Kim Cuisinart here, part of the Fox 13 family.
Yeah, we're talking strategy and apology. I nailed a woman right here, and I feel really Last year, I hit a little girl, and she started crying. So now I've learned, like, there's a strategy. You have to make eye contact.
Make eye contact. That's what I was going to tell you.
To you. And
try to make eye contact.
There's more strategy. I don't try to throw to the people in the back row, because all I end up doing is nailing someone in the front row. I try to do that. I try to go far. I want to get the kids that don't have any beads back.
I'm with you, Kim. I'm looking for the people who don't have a neck full already. But I may or may not have witnessed Scott Smith peg somebody right in the head. So you do have to be careful.
He can always blame it on his son, though.
That's true. He probably will. He probably will. What's the experience been like so far?
It's been a lot of fun. It's a great day. The weather's beautiful out here. The crowd seems so much heavier than before.
Of course, right when you say that, this is our background. Of course, they're over there right now. They're back and forth. Now it's crowded on that side. But yeah, it does look like a really big crowd this year.
Houston, we have a problem.
Oh no, see, here's the other problem. When you want me to show you how to untangle these? Here's what you do. Happy Gasparilla. You just throw the tangle. Let them deal with it. All right, this is what it looks like on board a float. Enjoy the sights and sounds as the Fox 13 float rolls down Bayshore Boulevard. Listen to them. Listen to the crowd. Oh, it's so much fun. This is what makes the Gasparilla season so fun, and the Gasparilla Children's Parade so much more special, because you see all the little ones there screaming for the beads, and all the big kids on this float having a good time giving them those beads. Mark and Kelly, hopefully we didn't damage you too bad as we went by.
I know. That's what makes it so wonderful, Charlie, is the faces of the children smiling and having so much fun and anxious to get the beads. The one thing I remember that everybody worries about is running out of beads. So I'm glad that you guys have not run out of beads yet, because you have thousands of people at the end of the parade waiting on those beads. Have fun, guys. We love you guys.
They are celebrating as well along the Pirates from the Sky. This is Walking with Warriors, this crew. They highlight the fact that children participating in this float are actively serving. The children are those who are actively serving or fallen members of the military or first responders. It's brought to us by the Walking by Warriors crew, so neat to see them.
Oh, for sure.
Goes without saying, of course, we appreciate all their family members for all their service.
And now we have the Incarnation Catholic School baton twirlers as well. They're from the Incarnation Catholic School, and they're having a good time, and they're walking right along. And now the crew of Neptune. Well, they're our baton twirlers. It's a long way to go, and they're doing such a great job. I was a baton twirler when I was in school, and I was not very good. So I admire what they're doing.
So you didn't get to do it in a parade?
No, I never. Oh, I did. I think I got to do it in a couple of parades.
Okay.
But I was not very good. But it was fun, and I was very proud of it. Now we have the crew of Neptune. They were founded in 1980 with one objective, merely to have fun. Their parade float looks like a lot of fun. There they are. 2 stories and has its own stereo system. They even have restrooms, which I know they're loving that. And riding atop the float are the crew's king and queen, Kevin McWilliams and Swanita Prasad. And while the crew's Gasparilla mission is to have fun, its members volunteer and contribute individually to local charities, religious groups, civic organizations every year. So thank goodness for them.
Indeed.
Have fun.
And we will let them take us to our next commercial break. Much more to come here from the Children's Gasparilla Parade here on Bayshore Boulevard. Don't move.
Welcome back, everybody, as we're beginning to wind down our coverage of the 2020 Children's Gasparilla Parade. The sun is starting to set, and it is so pretty out here.
We're going to get a great sunset here on Bayshore.
Oh,
it's going to be amazing. It's been a beautiful day, and the night is shaping up to be spectacular. As we look at the crew of St. Augustine de Aragon, they actually have 2 floats here, and you know, we're just always amazed by the intricacy that they put into their costumes and the floats as well. And it's pretty neat to see.
Yes,
let's go on to Fox 13 Chip BREWSTER, who's along the parade route, has been working it today amongst all the pirates as well. Who you got, Chip?
Oh, yeah. Like 10 seconds ago. See that giant group of pirates up there? They beated me. I just got kissed on the cheek. I think Charlie warned me about that, working this part of the job today. But that's not even why I wanted to come out here. So we're coming towards the tail end, and I was scouring, and I found kind of this section right here. See all these wonderful people? So you guys, it looks like, have got half the beads on the parade route. Like you have more beads. I think this weighs more than you weigh. What's your secret?
Just catch them and yell.
That's it. Catch them and yell. So you guys have beads, but how many of you have a Fox 13 bandana? None of you. So this is what I want. We got a little drum music here, and I want to see a dance-off, and the best dancer gets the bandana. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Let's see the moves. Let's see the moves. Shake it, shake it. Oh, man, she might win. What are we going for? All right, what do we think? What do we think? Who gets this bandana? Wow, that's impressive. You know what? They all shook it so well. Everybody's going to get a Fox 13 bandana. There we go. Spread them out. Be nice. Share. Sharing is caring, everybody. Oh, a lot of fun. It's not just beads. It's Fox 13 bandanas, guys. Mark Kelly, did you guys get a Fox 13 bandana? Do I have to come over there and hook you up?
Oh, you have to save us one. Two, please.
I will.
All right. We'll see you in a few minutes, Chip. Thank you. Now, this is always one of my favorite floats, the crew of St. Florian. I mean, it's all lit up. It is beautiful. They play great music. They do the siren. They have a good time for sure every year.
No surprise that they're firefighters, huh?
No, I know. They were founded in 2001. Its members are career firefighters, both men and women from around the Tampa Bay area. They serve the community through lots of charitable work, a lot of benefiting young burn victims, and they always are right there front and center, and it's just fun to see. Now we have the crew of La Belle Famille. Yes.
Yeah, the crew of bells.
Yes, it's all female crew, founded in 2002. Members believe in the need to positively impact and celebrate the quality of life in our community, and they are definitely celebrating the quality of life today. They celebrate truth and beauty, freedom, and love. Their theme is Moulin Rouge this year, and their costumes and floats reflect a French cabaret, and they are having fun. Finally, we get to see a dance troupe on. Every time we've seen a dance troupe, it's been in commercial break. And now here they are, the Frank Ray On the Edge show dancers. They are adorable. They're doing such a great job. They were founded in 1956 by the legendary Frank Ray. It's the oldest dance studio in the Tampa Bay area. They're trained in American and European dance techniques, and they're very, very good.
Next, we have the crew of Italia. You'll probably be able to see there. They are. This is the official crew for the historic Italian Club of Tampa. Established in 04 with about 120 members. Their costumes are Roman themed, as you can see, and their float looks much like a Roman temple. Hey! Their mission is to promote Italian pride and awareness, and they are doing so well today.
Once again, very elaborate float.
Love the Roman theme. They might have the Roman theme cornered, market cornered for the parade. We haven't seen any of those, so need to see the crew of Italia here today. And the Familia de Gladiators crew, here they are coming up next. This is another huge float, and it's really cool because this is it's a chariot that's pulling an entire Colosseum. If you look closely, it's really, really neat here, just like the one in Rome. Their symbol is a rudis, or a wooden sword. They were a gift given by the emperor to freed gladiator, and it's symbolic because they help people transition from destructive environments and take back their lives. And they have a great motto: family is not always about bloodlines, but rather honk that horn. Circle of people connected by love, respect, and a genuine desire to improve the human condition.
Look at the detail. They have the neon lights in every little window. I hope that shows up on television because it's just beautiful in person. Oh yeah, you can see it. Now we have the crew of Blackbeard's Revenge, and legend has it that King George of England wanted Blackbeard dead or alive. A lieutenant captured Blackbeard and anchored his head on the bow of the ship as proof, and then his body was tossed overboard. This is Blackbeard's Revenge. The crew of Marauders and Gypsies was founded in 2011 when not sailing the high seas, they are helping local charities. And they have a good music playlist as well.
And you can see the orange sky behind us as the sun begins to set over our shoulder there in Tampa Bay. It's going to be a beautiful night here. We do have some fireworks. There's not a full fireworks show, but there will be fireworks for those who are here and in our Fox 13 newscast following us here at 6 o'clock. Hopefully you'll be able to see some of those. But it's going to be a gorgeous night as the sun sets here on Bayshore de Vegas.
This is the time of the evening when everything is just magnified and everything looks so pretty at dusk. Hello.
Somebody make some noise for Fox 13.
We appreciate the shout out.
And look who's coming up next. The folks from Lockhart Elementary. This is a magnet school that's based in Tampa, and their motto is building hearts and minds. And they're still a good bit of ways from us. We can see them. We can't quite hear them yet, but we're going to hear them here in a second as they crank up their drum line. But it's neat to see all these kids really having a good time, and that's what today has been about. All the family members, all the friends, and the crew members, school members, a lot of teachers, a lot of parents, and they still want their beads.
I know they do. And they're getting them too, that's for sure. Having a lot of fun. All right, here we go. This is the crew of Celts, and the crew is mostly made up of employees from the city of Tampa and Hillsborough County, fire, police, education, and they were Celtic costumes. Motto is fun should be fun. And their main charities are All Children's Hospital and the Arts of Tampa and local schools. Good
They
job.
are having fun, for sure. As we are, too. And we're not done yet. We're going to take one more brief break. So sit tight. The grand finale from the Children's Gasparilla Parade here on Bayshore. When we come back.
Welcome back, everybody, as we wind down our live coverage of the 2020 Children's Gasparilla Parade, and it's been a fantastic 2 hours.
We appreciate you guys at home for sticking with us, and Chip, we appreciate all that you've done out on the parade route. You did a great job today.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, well, I've got one more thing to do if we have like a minute for you. You know, I was out there working pretty hard, handing out these bandanas, and then you guys are all like, oh, we didn't get those. Chip, please make sure you bring a couple back. Well, I'm roaming, which means that I can just go ahead and walk behind the scenes really quickly, because we're almost out of time. I don't know if I'm going to break the matrix of Fox 13 by doing this. Here you guys are. Here we go. Bringing them
much. Thank you, darling. You did fantastic.
Now we just got to figure out how to put these on.
I know. I'm going to wait.
Something like that.
Cool.
Does that work? Yeah. Oh, no, it's been a great day this afternoon as the sun sets for a gorgeous night here. We appreciate all of our friends and our family members and all of our viewers and all their friends and neighbors who've come out and joined us today. We don't have any idea of the crowd size, but we know it's got to be close to a record. It's the best weather we've had in years for sure. And the parade has been flawless. The floats have been amazing. They're still going.
And it's all about the children and the smiling faces, and we have seen countless happy children. They're going to be going home and sleeping well tonight with all their beads and their loot nearby.
Indeed, and much more to come here on Fox 13. Of course, we have the Fox 13 6 o'clock news coming up next, but what a great way to kick off Gasparilla, these next 2 weeks of Gasparilla. The big parade, of course, next weekend, but today was the best day to get us going. We appreciate you staying with us.
Yes, we certainly do. Thank you for being with us. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next year.